Okay, hi. I'm actually feeling like making a video after a pretty long time, I guess. For me, it's a long time. It's been a couple of months, but I am feeling better right now. So I felt like I would make an update video of sorts, and it's gonna be a short one because there's like people over here, and I hope they don't see me doing this. Makes me kind of uncomfortable when people are like seeing me filming outside, even though I would keep going, but whatever. And anyway, how am I doing? And if you see me for the first time and you don't know anything, I'm not gonna go over this again. Just look at my past videos and you will know what I'm talking about. But I feel like I am doing better, like genuinely. And can I just say, like, the stuff that I have been talking about on this channel, about emotional regulation and everything, that stuff works. And of course, I know that it works because I've done it with like other situations in my life and it worked then, but this situation is just kind of really big and I've not really been through anything like this before in this way. But I have to say, it still works. It like genuinely still works. So I feel like if there are people out there like watching that stuff that like I've made in the past, yeah, it works. I've been using these same principles just to help myself right now. Because you know, when you have big situations in your life, I feel like the thing you have to do, like the first thing you have to do is like not pretend that everything is fine. Just you have to relax. I feel like the bigger it is, the more you have to relax and just stop the struggle like I have been talking about in my videos. And already just doing that, I feel like will help. And I've been doing a lot of that. Because with a situation like this, you cannot like immediately change how you're feeling. So you just, I feel like, have to accept it. And if you can, then it helps a lot. And I'm actually really proud of myself because, like, in my real life, I have been having some situations like since then, like since everything happened, where when something like this happens, you are kind of in a volatile place a little bit emotionally. You can just, like, if you're dealing with grief, like, things can just set you off that otherwise probably wouldn't. And people can, like, say things, like, unintentionally that, like, affect you in some sort of way that otherwise wouldn't. But the thing with emotional regulation, I feel like, is just that it helps you stay centered. And it has been helping me stay centered because I've had some of these situations and I've been proud of myself that I have not like exploded on people or anything like that. By the way, I just wanted to add it's not about being perfect. It's not like I'm just fine now. There's a car, I think. Or maybe it turned away. I think it turned away. But it's not about being perfect. It's not like I am just like fine now. Honestly, I still go through like so many different emotional states. But I feel like you can get a handle on this. I have been just trying to allow whatever emotional states that I'm in to just exist and to just go through them. And it's easier that way. It isn't that I'm perfect because I really am not. But I will say that like the most that has happened when I've been kind of in a like a volatile state is that I have been like visibly upset in a situation. Like I have not exploded on anybody, but like I have just gotten like very quiet and kind of pulled back into myself. And then people have like started asking me like, are you upset now? Or like, what happened? So it has leaked through. I'm not perfect, but I haven't actually exploded. And I feel like that's the point. When you have a big situation like this, it's not like you're gonna be perfect. It's not like you're gonna be fine. And I feel like you shouldn't expect yourself to be. And I don't expect myself to be. But I do expect myself to take care of my emotional state by myself because it's my job. In those moments, you feel like that's what you want to do because there's so much like pressure in you that you feel like if I just could let it go, like let it out on these people who are pissing me off. I put it in air quotes because they are not really the ones pissing you off. It's that it's just your own emotional state, and they are just there reflecting that to you that's where you are. But you feel like if I just let this pressure out on them, then I will feel better. I will feel relief, and in fact, you would feel better in that moment. But the stuff that I have been talking about, like about emotional regulation and all that, the point of it is that you are in that moment when you feel that way, that you want to like just go off. You don't do that because you're able to see like 5 or 10 steps ahead. You're able to think in your head, if I do this right now, yes, I might feel relief for this moment, but what else will happen? The whole day will be ruined. These people will be upset and you will hurt them. And also, you will feel really guilty afterwards that you did this. And then you will feel really disappointed in yourself that you acted this way. And then other people will think that, you know, you are not centered because you're not. You're not regulated. And they kind of get the sense that you're just like a bomb that's about to go off at any moment. But the thing with emotional regulation is, like, if you practice this, you don't go off in any moment. You're able to stop and be like, okay, I feel this way right now. But it's not, even if it feels like it's the fault of these people, it's not really. Like, you were feeling that way before this thing happened. They are just a reflection of that. I hope that makes sense. And you're actually able to think that in the moment and then stop yourself and be like, I'm not going to do this right now, no matter what it feels like. And then you will actually be proud of yourself later on because you'll be like, hey, I didn't explode and now I'm feeling better. And in fact, I've had some of these situations. And another thing that I've done to help myself in those situations is that I have just, like, if there's someone around that like I trust and am able to talk to about like what I am experiencing, then I've been able to like pull that person aside, like out of that situation. So it's just me and them, and just tell them like out loud that I am feeling really angry right now. And then explain why I'm feeling that way, and that it's not to make them do something about this. And I make it very clear to them, like, it's not that you have to do something about this. It's just that I have to get it out of myself. Like, I have to just say, even if there was no person around, I would still want to say out loud to myself, like outside of that situation, that I am feeling really angry right now because of this reason. And I gotta tell you, like, as soon as I did that, I felt so much better. I actually didn't feel like exploding on the people anymore at all. And so nothing bad happened. And I feel like that's all the result of keeping yourself regulated, especially in situations like this. So that's kind of how I am doing. You know, there are still some days which are better and then some days which are worse, but I currently am feeling like I am less volatile than I was when things had just happened. And I'm handling it by myself because I say all the time, your emotional state is your job. It's not anybody else's job. They can't do anything about it. And so I try to make that very clear to people around me that it's not their job to do anything about it. Like, I will still share about how I am feeling, but that doesn't mean you have to do something about it. It's just sharing. That's all. And I just take care of it by myself. And how do I take care of it? I just come out here. Like, look, it's so pretty. Like, it's so pretty and lush over here. And look, I have a tan. Like, I don't know if you can see this. It's like I have a crazy tan, and that's just from walking, taking as many walks as I can. I've got a crazy tan. I haven't been to the beach at all. So that's just what I wanted to share. That's how I am doing right now. And I feel that's pretty good considering what's going on. And yes, like in terms of my friend, it still feels unreal. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it still feels unreal. Like, I have these cycles that I go through where it feels more real, but then at some other time it just feels unreal again. I can't really explain it unless you've been through something similar. That, like, unreal feeling, like everything feels unreal, but then other times it feels real. And overall, it just feels like my friend is on vacation or something. But I also know what the reality is, so I don't know, it's hard to explain. But overall, I'm just trying to think about things that, like, my friend gave to me as a person, and the things that she taught me. Because I feel like when someone dies, like the thing that you can do, like, there's nothing that can bring them back, right? So I feel like the only thing you can do is, like, just think about what did this person give me while they were here? What can I, like, take away from having had this experience with them? Something positive that I can, like, then integrate into myself and into my life and to give to others. So these are the things that I've been thinking about. And of course, there's a lot of other things as well, but that's just what I wanted to share. So I guess I shall end this for now and just, if anybody else out there is grieving anyone or anything, I would say, like my friend used to say, that I just send you love, light, and warmth. And that's it. Bye bye.